Hello and welcome. I'm Dr. J. Fulgencio with Learngenix, and I'm thrilled you're joining us during National Small Business Week, a time dedicated to recognizing the incredible impact of small businesses on our economy, our communities, and our lives. Whether you're launching your very first venture or looking to grow an existing business, funding is often one of the biggest and most intimidating challenges entrepreneurs face. But the good news, you don't have to navigate it alone. In this webinar, Funding Your Business, Smart Strategies for Raising Capital, we'll talk through practical, proven methods to help you identify the best funding path for your goals. From bootstrapping and business loans to angel investors, venture capital, and crowdfunding, there's something here for every kind of entrepreneur. Grab a notepad, get comfortable, and let's explore how to fuel your business with the right kind of capital, strategically, sustainably, and with confidence. Thanks for being here, and happy Small Business Week. Welcome to the Funding Your Business, Smart Strategies for Raising Capital. In this presentation, we're going to explore the various funding strategies from bootstrapping to venture capital, and what is a right fit for your company. So there's two different things that to look at when you're starting to build financing or build capital for your business. There's really two ways of doing this, right? You could do it internally by bootstrapping your business, meaning you're using your personal savings to build your company. The great thing about bootstrapping your company is that you've maintained 100% ownership of your company. You haven't given away anything of your company or given away part of your company because you need money. And so a lot of businesses, especially a lot of small businesses, start out by bootstrapping. And, depending on the industry that you're getting into, bootstrapping may be the best option. However, there are other types of companies that you're starting that are going to need a form of external funding, meaning you're going to need outside capital in order to accelerate growth. For example, if you're starting an ed tech company, if you're, depending on what type of IT company you're starting, you may need some external funding. If you decide to open up a large-scale restaurant, you may need some type of external funding unless you have a lot of money saved up. But most of the time you will need some form of external money. So that means you're going to have to be able to go out and seek an angel investor or venture capital or some type of loan from a lending institution. So there are various types of business loans and grants out there. You would have to do your research into terms of what is the best fit for you. There are SBA loans and other types of loans. Your local bank may also have business loans that are provided for you, business lines of credit, which offers the flexibility to draw funds only when needed. There are grants out there. Basically, grants is free, in a sense, quote unquote free money that you're given, doesn't require any repayment. There are business grants out there done on the local, state, and federal level. You would just have to do your research. I would say that businesses, for-profit companies, shouldn't be wasting their entire time looking for business grants. If one happens to be, you happen to stumble upon one, go ahead and apply for it. But don't put all your efforts into business grants because they are extremely competitive. Thousands and thousands of people apply for it, and only a small pool get the money. So don't spend too much time on those business grants. You're better off spending the bulk of your time on a sales strategy or building some type of customer acquisition funnel to get customers. If your company needs external capital and you're trying to attract angel investors and venture capital, do note that not every single type of business is a right fit for, perhaps an angel investor or a venture capital. Venture capital funds are very limited. A venture capital VC firm is probably only going to fund only a handful of companies each year, when thousands or maybe hundreds or even thousands of companies seek their money. Venture capital firms are looking for the next big company, the next Uber, the next Google. They want to exponentially grow fast. So they're not looking to invest in the next mom and pop pizza shop or a local grocery store, unless that grocery store has some type of software that's very valuable, perhaps. But other than that, that's not their focus. Venture capital is really they want to see an exit strategy, either to be acquired by a bigger player in the game or initial public offering. So they're looking for exponential growth. An angel investor is another way to, if you have a growing company, whether you started some form of a company that's a net tech company, a software company, and also angel investors would be good. Angel investors is usually one particular individual who will invest in your company. Venture capital typically is, a company or a group of individuals who invest in your company. But again, venture capitals are looking for high growth with an exit strategy. There are also other forms. You have crowdfunding, if you've probably heard of them. Kickstarters and GoFundMe is another way to fundraise or raise capital for your company. Just note that if you do go the crowdfunding route, that you do have to put in the work that you promised you would, right? So for example, if you're crowdfunding for a particular, like say for example, you're going to build hiking backpacks, and you say, hey, if you give X amount of money, you get this and you get that. Make sure you follow through with what you said that you're going to do, and use that money for what you're going to do for it and build it. It's crowdfunding may be a really good way to start building funds, and also a good way to see if the market is in need of your product. It's a really good, also another way to see what the market appetite is for your product. Another type of financing or for external capital is revenue-based financing. Revenue-based financing is basically when a percentage on a monthly basis, a percentage of your revenue is taken from your recurring revenues. You think about recurring revenues such as like subscriptions, right? You think about your Netflix account or other subscriptions that you pay on a monthly or yearly basis. And so they take a portion of your monthly revenues until you pay back the loan. Typically, revenue-based financing has a higher interest rate than a typical business loan, only for the fact that revenue-based financing typically does not take any equity stake, or doesn't go and put a lien on your car or your building, or any type of physical products that you may own. So that's why typically they have a little bit of higher interest rate. Merchant cash advances, be very careful with those. Some of them have very high interest rates. A number of companies have gotten caught in these type of cash advances, and they've fallen into financial struggles to get out of them. So be wary of certain cash advances. I'm not speaking ill of them, but just do your homework. Also, invoice factoring. Some companies actually, some vendors, if you work with a particular vendor, may provide you some financing, and that will be perhaps helpful to get the financing from specifically directly from your vendor. So if you are going to seek capital, such as an angel investor or venture capital firm, right, you're going to need some form of a business plan. The old school business plans. A lot of people have been doing away with business plans and doing a business model canvas or some other type of document. But you definitely will need a pitch deck, anywhere from 10 to 15 slides. That also shows your financial projections. You may have to do a due diligence package. So again, do your homework, determining what type of documents are needed when you're going to seek capital, whether that's an angel investor or whether you're going to get a revenue-based financing loan or seek a revenue-based financing loan or venture capital. Do your homework as to what type of documents are needed. When you are seeking capital, you're going to have to demonstrate your business potential, right? How many customers can you attract? What's your revenue model? Like, how are you making money? What's your scalability? Is there scalability for your company? And what's your competitive advantage? What's that secret sauce that makes your company competitive and different from other players in the market? Those venture capitalists are looking for, okay, what do you have that makes you competitive in the market that nobody else has? What's the entry to what's the unique differentiation or barriers for other competitors to take what you have? One of the common funding mistakes to avoid is neglecting legal structure. So again, if you go back to the previous presentation I did here for the National Small Business Week, is not setting up a legal structure could be harmful. Starting too late. You don't want to start fundraising money when you're low on cash or you're in a cash crunch. Have an unrealistic valuation. Be realistic. Or insufficient market research, right? You haven't really done your market research. You don't know who your target market is. You don't know the competitive landscape. You don't know if this market is growing, being static, or on a decline. So make sure you do your homework. So assess your needs, do your research options, prepare your materials, and build relationships. The road to funding is a very trenchful and painstaking road that's going to take a lot of time, effort, and resources. So make sure you assess if you need or seek the capital, and make sure that you are going towards the right capital, and not spend your time on capital that's not going to be available for your company. So thank you for watching this presentation. I join you to get in contact with Learngenix to see how we could be a valuable resource to your learning needs for your company or organization. Feel free to send out an email to me at j@learngenix.com, and make sure you check out learngenix.com. Thank you and have an amazing day.